what you'll need is a couple of things. You'll need a chair or a stool, a bench at first. And then with time, we'll take this away. But when you first get started, have a bench, something you can put your feet up on so that you're at a 90-degree bend in your knees and a 90-degree bend in your hips. You're gonna want something to put between your knees that's about 4 to 6 inches. A little squish to it is great, but not necessarily necessary. And we will also encourage you to use a balloon with this, so find a balloon. So here's a setup. When you're using the bench, it should be 90 degrees. You should have a 90-degree bend in your hips and a 90-degree bend in your knees. As you can see, it's a little bit, that's really closer to 90 for me. So what I'm gonna do is grab a little extra lift for myself. Okay. Ideally, you can have it to where your feet can contact a wall while you're doing this, but that's going to be more necessary for the progression. So I'm gonna, since I can, I'm gonna do that. But 90-90 here, with something underneath your heels. Try to get it underneath as much of your shin as you can, so you're not like way out on the edge of it. Okay, if that's possible. All right, so 90-90, the action is this. I put this little ball, I put the object between my knees. I'm gonna put a little squeeze on it. Gonna get a little groin. And then I'm gonna pull down through your heels, okay? And you can see as I pull down through my heels, I feel some tightness in the back of my legs, my hamstrings. And you see my knees kind of go up towards the ceiling. There's a little scoop of the pelvis, so go ahead and let that happen. The tailbone lifts just a little bit. Pull down through the heels, squeeze onto that ball, and that's the hip lift part. You're gonna maintain this. Right arm is gonna be up in the air, okay? With each breath out, I'm gonna reach towards the ceiling, and I'm gonna hold it there when I inhale. So I still have the scoop, pull through the heels, feel the hamstrings, squeeze on the ball, feel the groin, a little air under my tailbone, but my back is still flat. I'm gonna take a breath in through my nose. I'm gonna breathe all the way out. I'm gonna reach that right arm towards the ceiling. And I'm gonna keep breathing out and squeezing that air out and hold it. Then I'm gonna seal my lips and breathe in through my nose. And then again, I'll exhale. I might reach a little further. Hold it. Breathe in. Okay, I'm gonna exhale, so I'm still pulling through my hamstrings. I'm still reaching through my right hand, and what that's going to do is I'm gonna feel this pulling back, or this heavy, this pressure into the mat with my left side. So the ribs, you should feel your left abs helping you pull back as you reach that right arm forward, okay? So it's a connection there. You're reaching through the back of your arm, you're not reaching really through your pec. I want you to think about your shoulder blade gliding around your body, and then it'll slowly lift just a little bit. It'll lift your rib cage up on that right side, and it'll help you get this left lower rib cage to sink down. So I'm gonna cue you. I'm gonna do it all one more time. You're gonna pull through your hamstrings. I'm gonna push through this arm, this shoulder blade, and I'm gonna pull back through my left rib cage as well. Okay? Pull through that left ab, pull through your hamstrings, push through your right arm. Hold all of it, breathe in. We should try to really feel that this right side wants to try to fill that right side with air. Try to minimize how much air we get back in that left side. Okay, so you repeat that, reaching 3 times. Breathe in one last time and relax. Using a balloon is optimal. Okay, so I'm gonna do that now with the balloon. I'm gonna do the whole sequence, okay? Pull, squeeze, little lift, and I'm gonna reach. Okay? So a few things there to note is I'm not rolling over to my left shoulder. It's more of an up and a little bit of a twist across. So you feel that happening at your midsection and not rolling over to the left on your left shoulder. The other thing is I'm never losing this pull through the hamstrings. I'm not going up and down, I'm just holding it stable. And then as you noticed when I inhaled, I didn't retract, right? So let's just keep all those things in mind. And the goal is to try to fill that right side with air while we really empty that left front lower rib cage with air. Okay, so an advancement of that would be to take away the stool and you would do the same activity against the wall. All right, the thing is you have to be really good at figuring out how to pull and not push into the wall before you're ready for this. If you're working with me in the clinic or as a paying client, a routine client, I will tell you when you are ready for this, okay? Otherwise, what I would recommend is use a stool for the first couple of weeks and then try to progress to the wall. It should feel the same. You're still pulling. It's as if there's like a treadmill here that I'm pulling back, but it's like stuck, okay? I'm pulling, but I'm not moving my feet. There's just enough pressure on the wall to keep my feet from sliding, but this is not a leg press. You're still imagining you have that object underneath you to pull into. So it's hamstrings, squeeze, pull, pull, push. My head is not turning. My head's staying straight up. My thorax is turning underneath it. And yes, you see my hand going a little bit further with each exhale, but it's very small. It's more about getting these ribs to pull back further and further and further than it is to reach as far as you can with that arm, okay? 3 breaths out. Take one last breath in. Repeat that 3 times.